Hey, welcome to Training at 45. It's time for another workout. It's time to get pumped and train, be a better version of ourselves the natural way. We're in Mike's gym and we're training at 45. Let's get amongst it. Greetings to the new subscribers. We're going to have another workout tonight, just focusing on the pretty much the same workout that I'm following at the moment, which is an adaptation of an old John McCallum program. But I'm using the zercher squats as the 20 rep squat alternative. So yeah, we'll get warmed up and get stuck into it and see what progress I'm making, and hopefully make a bit more progress tonight. So I'm just going through the warm-up routine. I'm uploading slightly less at the moment because I'm just training once and then having 2 nights off and then training again. So the frequency's slightly different to before, when it's sort of a night on, night off, and then maybe a couple of days here and there off when I felt like I needed it. But it seems to be working quite well. But because this program is really heavy duty, I've had to really think about the volume, and as well it did call for sort of like 4 sets on most of the exercise, and I've now cut that down to 3 sets and then use one of the sets as just like a warm-up, which I find is just keeping the overall length of the workout a bit better, but also just reining in the volume so I'm just not overtrained. Overall I'm steadily adding some weight to the bar, which is good. Most of the exercises, just having a little bit of residual shoulder pain just in my left shoulder for some reason. Maybe something to do with the pull-ups behind the neck or the incline presses. I did switch away from doing trap bar incline presses, so I found it was just aggravating the shoulders too much, so it's probably got something to do with that. And I've now moved the incline down to a bit more of a steadier incline rather than sort of 45 degrees. So I'm just going to monitor that shoulder pain and just make sure I'm really well warmed up. The first part of the workout is mainly legs anyway, so I'll certainly be gasping for air by the time I've done those. What's been a great advantage is making a bit of a harness for doing the zercher squats. I think I might look at buying some sort of harness for it, a proper thing, but this DIY thing is working quite well because it was just getting really painful on the crook of the arms, and I felt that I was feeling like giving up because of that rather than giving up because of the legs. So now it's sort of redressed that balance a little bit. Liking these extensions now. I think I'll be at the point of adding weight to these soon. So I'm sort of on the seafood diet at the moment. Seafood, eat it. Just with this hardcore training, it's calling for a lot more calories. So I'm sort of piling it in now. It feels good. So as the weight started going up now on these squats, you sort of have this like mental block where you sort of fear starting it, but you just know you got to do it, and you know it's not going to be great. So I've got the squat shoes on, and I've got the wraps on as well. So we're just going to do a few warm-up reps and then go for the big set. Yeah, just making sure I've got good feet positioning for these. A nice feel and not any bending in the back, and getting a good depth. I'll put some more weight on and do a few more reps.
McCallum says beat yourself into a mental frenzy before you start the set. Make it a life or death deal.
Just trying to work up a good groove on these reps. Trying to just touch and go at the bottom, so we get a bit of a stretch reflex rather than stopping at the bottom. So then only makes the effort harder to go from a dead stop. It's good because the exercise, you bottom out anyway onto your thigh, so it sort of stops you going too far. And we'll put a little bit more on.
You've got to make 20 reps. No, you can do it. then do it.
Okay, here we go for the big set. I'm going to try and get some good breaths between each rep, some deep breaths. Going to be using the harness as well, just to take the strain off the arms. And yeah, it's not going to be easy.
Finding the zercher squats has been a real game changer for me. Doing back squats or even front squats just aggravates my back. I've tried and tried over the years, and I just can't seem to get around this bit of a limitation that I have. With this little harness thing I've just put together, just made out of some karate belts, and just adjusted them to get the right height. I'm still having to do the squat holding it with my arms, but just between the reps I can just give my arms a little bit of a break.
Those last few were hard going. Okay, pullovers.
So I'm not having to hold that tension for a really long time, especially with a 20 rep set, which will take a lot of time to complete.
Wow, that was tough. Didn't feel as tough as the workout before this one did. I think I was a little bit better with my form, just hitting the touch point at the bottom and coming back up. I'll have to check the video, but that felt a lot better. But my legs were just shaking like crazy towards the last couple of reps. I thought I was like, oh, this hole. Anyway, now onto some more leg work with, can't even remember what it's called, the belt squat. Yeah, homemade harness is serving me well. Just chains up at the front there. This enables me to just take the load off the arms a little bit and concentrate it on the legs. Okay, got our belt squat loaded up. Go for the first set of 15. I'm going to follow it up with the donkey calf raise. Yes, concentrating on leaning back really good into the calf raise and getting a really good deep stretch on the block. I'll film the next set.
The benefits of the 20 rep breathing squat are well publicised. It's certainly in pretty much every other chapter of the Keys to Progress that I've been reading. And McCallum himself says, you know, you're doing high rep breathing squats for a specific purpose. They'll stimulate your metabolism and force growth like nothing else you'll ever do. They're an absolute must at some stage in your training.
Yeah, when you get your butt back, feels like such a good stretch on those. I'm roughly about half the weight of what the belt squat is for those. But I think I'm going to get to the point where I'll be using the belt squat weight just to do these raises soon. Okay, one more set. Feeling quite strong tonight. So far I've been doing really well. And the belt squats have been doing more or less continuous reps, just one breath down and up. So that's a real good sign. Sweating like crazy there.
You've got to work hard enough that the 15th squat feels like your limit, and keep going and dig out the rest of the 20. Each one of the last 5 reps should be doubtful. I can certainly agree with that. Not really ventured into high weight territory on these yet, but I'm just adding 5 pounds every time I do a workout, and if I'm successful I'll keep adding more.
20 of those.
And I'm slowly adapting to it.
Remember when I first started doing these, the pain in it felt like the calf muscles are just going to come off the bones. Still just trying to perfect the motion of it, but I found just trying to lean back almost to get as much stretch as you possibly can in the back of the legs really helps. And I'm supersetting them in between the belt squat sets, so I'm not wasting any time just resting and standing here just resting. And it seems to be fine. The belt squat doesn't seem to be affected by doing these. Still got plenty of strength in the quads. Well, yeah, so the leg work's going well. Okay, we're now going to go on to some upper body. We've got incline press and we've got pull-ups.
It's weird, like some of the workouts will feel absolutely destroying, and then you come to the next one and it just seems easy, so that adaptation must be taking place there. Okay. I think there's somewhat of a mental willpower element to it as well.
The incline dumbbells. Okay, just been stretching out my shoulder. It's still hurting for some reason. Just getting a bit aggravated by these incline moves for some reason. So I might have to just modify the positioning of how I do these bench presses. But we've upped the weight from last time, so we'll see how we get on. Let's do a little bit more stretching. We'll go for 12 reps, and then we're going straight on to the pull-ups for 15 reps. Just have to modify the movement slightly.
With the chins behind neck, I'm starting to get a lot stronger on those now. Started at something like the 5th hole in the rack with the support band. I'm now down to the 9th, so won't be long before there's no assistance at all with those, and with using body weight and even perhaps having a small amount of weight tied to me for 15 reps.
Gonna stick with the neutral grip. Right.
The incline dumbbell press or incline pressing work has been somewhat of a love-hate thing. Just trying to find the right exercise that works for doing that. I've never done much incline work ever really in my training at all. So I think it's just something that aggravates maybe the rotator cuffs a little bit. But I'll keep persevering with it.
That was good, all 3 sets. More chin-ups.
Might have to just do some external flexibility in my off days just to keep the shoulders moving good.
Ah! 13 again. Okay, we're on to the stiff-legged deadlifts now. Been watching a lot of videos on these, so I'm going to try and, because McCallum doesn't give you any indication on rep speed, so it seems to be the consensus is around sort of 4 seconds down and then around 1 second up, to really try and get as much of a stretch as possible on the hamstrings. We've gone up a bit in weight, but I'm just being a bit careful with weight on this one, and more just trying to really get that feel of the stretch. Okay, I need to try and do 15 reps. It starts to get really fatiguing after a while, just holding the weight as well. So I'm not stopping at the bottom, I'm kind of keeping it elevated off the floor. So it certainly adds a bit of a burn to the upper back and shoulders as well. That's quite a stretch. Quite a lot of tension as well, holding that bar and gripping it. Certainly works the forearms. It's working, I'm good. Right, last couple of exercises now. Concentration curl and the tricep push down as a finish.
With the concentration curls, I was going to do them with a single arm dumbbell, but it was just adding too much time to the workout to work each arm independently. I can just really feel each rep, get a good form down, and then get straight on to the press downs, supersets. Doing the whole routine in a superset fashion is really great for keeping the intensity high, and I find that actually one exercise seems to stimulate another really well. I'm hoping to get the overall workout down to about an hour and a quarter if I can.
That was the end of the workout. Starting to get pretty hardcore now, this is. The weights are going up though on all the lifts, and especially the leg work felt really strong tonight. Didn't have the best nights of sleep at all last night because the dog keeps trying to get in the bed, which is not ideal. So probably only had about like 5 hours or something, but surprised myself even though I was feeling quite fatigued over the course of today. And of course it's been really hot. I'm just sweating buckets even now, and it's about 8 o'clock at night. But yeah, it's time to get a nice meal now. Thanks again for watching the channel. Hope you're getting some good motivation and stimulation from seeing these workouts. This is the real deal. 45 years old and just trying to get there naturally, without any enhancements at all, other than getting bitten by things. Yeah. Okay. Well, keep training at 45.
That's it, darling. Time for a cold bath and a rub down.